So, hi everybody and welcome back to the Unreal Engine 5 tutorial series for beginners. And we continue with overview. This is video number 15, I think now. And we will now make a passcode example. I talked about a static mesh and a blueprint. The left one here is our blueprint version, and you can see this also here on the outline on the right side. It says now blueprint. This is our convention, so this is not a real indicator of a blueprint, but here we can click this bluish color now as well, and that means we can edit it and it pops up the blueprint. Let me click this. You can see it pops up our blueprint file. But before we go there, let me show you something else. No, actually not. We can start right away. Okay, what we are going to do now is I create a little code, a very bad one, because I said it's not a coding section. I want just demonstrate that this one has a functionality, and what I'm going to do is, let's play. I'm walking here, and when I come here, this door will disappear. Yeah, this is a very not really good example, because normally when you come here, the door should, for example, you press a button and then this door opens with a nice swing and so, but this is too much coding, and this section is not a coding section. Okay, let's get started. What we do, we go back to our blueprint. It was open, so if it's not open on you, you go to the blueprint section. This is the file which we created. Double click on it and dock it here on top, and we can switch. So this is our start point. When we go to the view, yes, we have here our static mesh. And I want code something now, but before I can do this, there is one more thing I have to add, because in Unreal Engine, most things, this is very important, I need a special video for that one. Most things works with collision. So what is a collision? A collision is, for example, let me show you what a collision is. Let me just add. Let's go here and let's add a collision box, for example. Right, just call. If you write call, there are three options. You have here on top box collision, capsule collision, sphere collision. They are all collisions just with different shapes. I choose right now here the box collision, and here in our viewport we can see we have a box, and this is a collision. But before I continue, what is now a collision, right? This is the problem here. What is a collision? So let me explain this to you very fast. In our real world, you can think about it. When you touch your hand, the collision is your skin, right? It blocks you. And in Unreal Engine, there is no skin. Instead, it is something like collision. And that means, for example, this one represents a blocking system. That means if you want to block something, you need to set up this blocking system. Let me show you this. When I start this game, we had this problem before. I can just walk through because this blocking system, this collision is not set here. I can walk here through, I can walk here through, like nothing. So we can enable this blocking system. I will do it after this blueprint code to show you this one, because collision is very important, but right now not. Just understand, a collision means a blocking system, similar to your hand. When you touch your hand, the skin is your blocking system. If you touch your table, the table's skin is the blocking system. You can't. And if you touch water, there is no blocking system. This blocks a little bit. You can still go through, but think about it. In Unreal Engine, you need all time this collision system. So now I added this box collision here. So we have now two components, and they are right now if you can see that they are not connected. They can be sometimes also connected to each other like so, but this depends on your needs. We attach it to the default scene root, so they are now not connected. That's not so important for this demonstration. So we click again our collision, and the next thing what you do most time in the viewport is align this correctly. What I mean with that later. For example, they should have the good scale. For example, this one is not so big, so you can go again here, or you can use the transform. I go here and just make it with my eyes, not very accurate, just fast and easy. So, and this collision box will do what? This question is, what will do this now? The thing is, when my character comes here and it runs, it overlaps, it calls, I run through, it calls and overlaps with this box here, then I want that a functionality happen. And the functionality is, when my character enters this box here, I want that this door disappears, right? That is our functionality. Very simple, very straightforward. So we have set up the components which we need. The component which we need for that is first our door, which should disappear. Then the second component is our collision, which we will enter and decide that it disappears exactly only then when I enter this place. It should not disappear when I walk here around, right? It should disappear exactly at this point here. And there is one more component which is not here, but we have it. And what is it? It is our character, because the character which I am using should interact. So, and now, after we have all components, we have to go to the coding section, and it's called event graph, and we have here three things. We can get rid of event tick and event action begin overlap because they will be needed when we need it, and right now we don't need it, and when what we don't need we just delayed. So this event begin play is a very important node. Why? Because this means when you start your game, this one will be active, right? So when you play here, this one will play too. And this is also the difference about this construction script. This construction script is normally in programming in C++. Active before you play too. You can set this up. It's active when you create an object there. It's a little bit different, so don't worry if you don't know that. Just know this. You need this event begin play. It says begin play. Then we want to do something. So how we want this? One more thing. Our character should go in. If this enters, this appears. So we need something. The first thing what we need is wrong start. And perhaps we don't need this event begin play. Why? Because the event begin play do nothing here. Let's watch this one again. My character is here. He is entering this collision box, and then something happens. So this collision box should do something. Not the event begin play should do something. This collision box do something. Okay. Then there is an option. You go down, 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 where it says events, and then you have here many different options. And most time I use the first two are very important, I think, and the others two, if you need them on programming, you will need them. But most time I use this one on begin overlap. This one works most time. On hit works too, depends on the hit results and so on. But on begin overlap, we are using the second one. And click on it. And when you click now on it, so our box collision is selected. I click on begin overlap, and then this is our new start point. It is not this event begin play where we should start normally. Now it is this on component begin overlap box, and you can see this one is red, so this one will react. You can call it, it will react to something. It is an event. That's why it is also in this event graph. That's also very important, but you learned this in programming a little bit. Events means, here a short explanation, just when something happened, and in our case our character will enter this one and then it will happen something, right? Not we made it. In time when the game plays, there is something happening, and it's called event. That is called an event, and this box will trigger then. That's why it is here on events and not in functions, because functions here, for example, other when we create functions, so they must be called special. So in this case we have to call them here, let's say from event from begin play, then I have to call manually the function. In this case, this one, you can call this events actually also, but they can be triggered also. That's a little bit better. Okay, whatever, let's continue. So we have this one. The next thing what you do is this box here must know who is entering, right? Perhaps my character is entering, but perhaps there is anything entering here. I don't know. A bird is flying and landing exactly at this point, and I don't want that the bird is destroying my door. I just want that this box here is destroying this door when my character enters. So I have so my box must identify my character. And how does this do it? Here there are some options, and you go to the other actor, and this one says who is this other actor who you want be noticed. Also the box collision is asking which actor you want to be noticed. And then I drag and drag out and say my character. My character has a special name. It is called here third person BP. It's a very long name here, the first one. BP third person character, and we need the thing which says cast to BP third person character, and then you see this one happens. This cast means just in this case I will make a connection. This is enough for this overview. I will make a connection to this third person character, which means this box what you can see will only realize this third person character, but this is only the point where it realizes. It do nothing with it, right? We have now go to the second step. When okay, the box says okay, you come here, I realized you are the third person character, all fine, but now what do you want? I want destroy. I want that this door disappears, for example. And okay, then this second functionality we have program here. Okay, I have noticed you, and now program your functionality. And what we need here is this door now. Okay, I want this door disappear. How we do this? We go here to our static mesh, and this static mesh is a door, but you see the static mesh has a very bad name here, right? It's called static mesh. We can press here F2 and rename this and call it SM static mesh underscore door. Enter. Now it's a bit better. And one more thing, if you learn the symbols here on the left side, you will see also what is a static mesh. And here, for example, a box collision, also very helpful, this tooltip when you hover over it, and so on. So let's go on. So we have made many changes. Don't forget, compile, save. Now all these changes are integrated, and we can continue. So I said here I need the door to be disappear. So I entered with my character, my box collision noticed me, and now my box collision said, okay, what is next? What do you want next? I want that this door appears. I renamed this door, perfect. I grab now this door, what you can see here, left mouse button, drag and drop it here on the scene. And then you see something like this one, and this is a connection to the door, which means now I have all the details here in this little node. And now I can have some functionalities if they are provided. What we do is we click on this bubble here and drag and drop out and search for destroy. Destroy. And normally what I want, I called it here, let me show you that I called it I want disappear. The problem in coding is the programmers have named all this kind of functions too, and you have to find the name, the right name, what they called it. In this case it is called destroy component, even though it's not really what you wanted. You said I want it just disappear, but actually when you are going for destroy component it will disappear. But there could be also another functionality, for example disable mesh, it's not here, or may hide mesh, set hidden in game or something like. There are all different kind of things, and you learn this kind of stuff in programming, not here. So okay, I have found the functionality how to get rid of the door. The last thing what I have to do is connect this one here, and that's it. Why? Because let's one last time before we go on, let's compile this again, save this again, and watch this again. So the viewport, the character is coming here, the box collision realizes this box collision, reacts and said, now what you want? I want to sorry, I want that this door should be disappear. And this little function, what you can see here, is doing the event graph. The box says, okay, the character is coming, I have noticed you. And the next step, and this white line means the next step, what you want from this point on is, I want, if this all happened, I want the next step that this door disappears. And that's it. Let's test it. So compile, save, but one more thing I think I made wrong, and that is when we go to our viewport, when we click here, careful, here X is forward. So that means in Unreal Engine X is forward, and this one is also forward. So when we watch this one, we have to watch it from this side. Let's go to our map, and you can see here our collision box is actually behind. Actually, this is not even true. I rotated this. Okay. Anyway, you have, because I rotated this thing here, let's make it from scratch. We delete this. We have saved that, right? Now I go to my folder Blueprint. I drag and drop it again. I go on top, press the End key, it snaps to the bottom, and the forward vector is all time X. You can see it here. You can see it here on the side too. And now let's see one more thing. When I press now start play, I can walk here around. When I'm here, nothing happens because the collision box is not on this side. Let's walk around. The collision box should be here, and now when I enter, and the box disappears. And now that was it. But here one more hint I can give you. This is very interesting perhaps. Sometimes you want to see all time the collision box on development. Later in game you don't want to see it, but on development, for example, you want to see it, to adjust it, to test it, and so on. What you can do is you go to the collision box here, then you go to the details, And then there is one option. This is very nice to know. I would say there are many options here you can forget. I said you don't need many, you just need this one probably, event, where we make our overlap, the transform, which we change here, and that's almost it. And perhaps here variable later and the name here, but that's it really. Box extend and so, yes, but not so much. All other you can almost forget. But there is one more thing which I said could be very nice for developing, and that is it. Yeah, there is it. It is called rendering hidden in game. So you go in rendering, but of course you can, if you know the word, you can find it too. Oh, you see, this one has so many options till I find now rendering. There is it. And then we have here, it says hidden in game. And if you uncheck this one, you can see now the compile save. You can see this collision box now in gameplay as well. And this is very handy sometimes till as long as you test it, you see the collision box is now here on the right side. Now I can see it exactly, and bam, it works. But later when you are finished, of course, with testing and so, check this again, because you don't want in your final game that save this also, that your game, that the other player, the customer, sees your collision boxes. So I think I stop here. That was the functionality of a static mesh with a blueprint, and it was different between a static mesh and a blueprint. You can program here code in, yeah. Okay, and in the next video, I think we will continue in next video, not with blueprints, that's enough. We will continue with our overview and look a little bit in different places. So see you there. Bye.